Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Uh, Good evening, Vasanthi, Miss
Good evening
Vasanthi
to you.
Naidu.
Yeah.
Yeah, and good evening, Entamizh followers. On behalf of Entamizh Vannangal, I find great pleasure in inviting you all for our first session of Artist Talk. So, through this session, we invite few artists to interact and to share their experience about their art journey. For the first session, we have Miss Vasanthi Naidu. She is from Seremban. She has received her secondary school education at the Convent of Infant Jesus, Seremban, and she has majored in commercial art at the Malaysian Institute of Art in 1983, and she's all as a self-taught artist in fine arts. She credits herself from childhood uh, to be inspired and fascinated by the environment and the beauty of the nature. And apart from that, she also has a spiritual essence, uh, which is harmoniously imbibed in her art. So today we have Ms. Vasanthi Naidu with us to share her experiences and um, her art journey with us. So welcome, ma'am. Welcome, Ms. Vasanthi.
Welcome, Meenakshi.
Yeah, uh, it's such
Anyway,
a pleasure to invite you for our show. So to start with, I would like to ask you to introduce about yourself.
okay, first and foremost, thank you very much for inviting me. It's a great pleasure to interact with you, Meenakshi, and to talk about my life. I would say that art has been my passion since childhood days. And the first subject that I would always like to do is art. So during my childhood days, I think I got first inspired by my mom, who used to draw little things. Um, she used to be a tailor actually when she was young, and she used to actually make bedspread. So, and she will draw the picture on the cloth, and then she will stitch. You see, that was what I've seen her doing it. That could be one of the things that my experience with my mom. And slowly, when I was a child, when I was in school, and I used to have drawing classes and all that, and I only remember she teaching me how to draw a cat or a dog or anything, a fish or anything like that. So, and also, I also believe that there are certain things in me which is born, born with me. So, and maybe I would have taken it from my parents. And my father is also equally a good artist, I would say, but they never really explored into art like what my mom, not really explored, but I know very much that they are also an artist themselves. So I would have inherited from them actually. And more so is like what happened was during my childhood days, there was one particular year where there was some water problem, my whole area. In fact, I would say in Nagari Simla, there were many towns we were affected. There was no water. So what my mom dad did was we had a huge garden actually. We had a corner house, so we had a small plot of land. We had a garden, and my mom used to plant a lot of flowers and all that. And her passion was orchids. So I don't know what she thought was. She thought maybe we would have some water somewhere along there. And with their intuition, we actually dig a well. We had so much of water there, and along that place, the corner there, there is a small. It's a kind of a very cozy place where I could just sit down there and communicate with the flowers there, flowers, the plants there, the green kingdom. So that is my favorite spot where I used to sit down and talk to myself. In other words, it's talking to yourself, but actually it's not talking to yourself. It's actually communicating with the nature. See, if you ask me now, I will say that I was actually communicating with God. But at that point of time, that's what I used to do. So it's like that. My journey with the nature, with art, started off like that.
Okay, that's so interesting. So I was just reminded of a Picasso's quote. Every child is an artist. The problem is to remain an artist once they grow up. I think you still retain your childhood in you.
Yes,
Uh,
yes, it's very much
uh,
in me, very much in
yes,
me. I never
yes.
forget all those
Nice.
moments.
So I would like you to talk more about your life, your art, and your spiritual journey. Um, as I have read about you, it says that you have traveled across and you had several spiritual expeditions. So would you like to share more about it?
Yes, no problem. See, I also remember when I was young, I come from a very conservative family where we girls are not allowed to do many things, you know. So, and my mom is quite a strict person, and she's very much also a spiritual person. For her, is the daily prayers is important, and getting up in the morning is important, and first thing is the prayers is important. So my knowledge on what is God uh, was something which is like is I'm always in search. Even at that age, when my mom used to speak about God, I would ask a question. And I remember seeing a movie, Tamil movie, very old movie. There was one little girl. She'll ask, "What is God? Where is God? And what is God doing now?" I'm sure you can remember. You will remember, or maybe you can recall the movie. And that question was with me all along when I was a child. So each time my mom says, go and pray or do this or do that, you know, our religion, we have to do a lot of things. So I'm one person, I want to know exactly where was God. And so I was search within me, I was in search. And what happened was, um, of course, during our childhood days, we have lots of experience, bad experience, good experience, and I didn't have the freedom to explore on spirituality when I was young. So when I went to college, I had the freedom to explore because I was not staying with my family. I was away from the family. I had the opportunity to join few spiritual organization. So my first stepping was the Raja Yoga Center. Okay, I do not want to specifically say that I'm from here and I'm from there. I don't actually stick to one, but I try to learn a lot of things about what God is all about. But my interactions with the nature was very much in me, which I did not realize where it's going to take me. So, but when I was in this organization and many other organizations for that matter, and the search was going on, and my when I told my parents that I want to do art, I want to learn art, and I want to be an artist, of course they supported me, but they actually told me this is not going to actually give you any income, you have to do something else. So I said, okay, I will do two studies. I will do my art, fine art. Actually, it's fine art. It's not commercial art, but I wrongly went into commercial art. I was introduced to commercial art. I wanted to very much do fine art, you see. So I told my parents that for your happiness, I will do both. I said I will do my artwork, and at the same time I'll do my accounting degree studies. So I went to Stamford College to do my accounting. At the same time, I was also in MIA. First, I did my studies in MIA, and after finishing the 3 years course, I went to straight away. I went to Stamford College to do my accounting to make my parents happy too. So that was my studies. In terms of my studies, that's what I did. Then immediately after my graduation in accounting, I was working in a what do you call advertising company because I did commercial artist. See? So I was working in an advertising company. I was a FA artist, FA artist. So during this time, I did. I was like sort of a. I was apprentice, but I was not really happy doing what there. Actually, I wanted to use the ink. I wanted to paint and this kind of thing. Then what I did, I had to get a job. So I got a job as an accounts officer, and soon after that, I had to get married. So, and when I was not married, I did not have a lot of opportunity the way that I wanted because my parents were always there to say you can or you cannot do. You see, but when I got married, I had all the freedom because my husband gave me all the freedom to explore whatever that I want to. So, so while I was when I was married and while I was working, as usual, we'll have children and will have no time to, the workload that we have in the office and you come back and have children. I decided that I wanted to do something on my own where I have the flexibility to do whatever I want to. And ever since then, my husband said, okay, you go ahead and leave your job. So I took care of my child. At the same time, I started doing something of my own, which means I did this craft work. I used to do flower arrangements, the plastic flowers and all that. So I used to do all that. And then after, I explored in a few business too, you know. And then I started traveling. Started traveling mean not with my husband, on my own with my friends. So this journey which I had when I started traveling, it was first to India. I came to Chennai in the year of 1999. That was my first year, first time I'm traveling to India. Of course, the first trip was with my husband. The second trip onwards, it's on my own, and and that is where I started realizing there's more to see, more to explore, and see, sometimes when we communicate with ourselves, instead of communicating with others more, I do communicate with myself more of what I want. And usually it's the connection between the nature, between the universe, a little things like when I see a bird or when I see a butterfly or when I see something nice, my mind will start wandering. Sometimes I can sit the whole day and wonder about what is happening, where is this connected, how is God connected to this, how is nature connected, what is this universe all about. This is what will run in my mind. So when this was happening one day, I used to get a lot of dreams and all that. So I dreamed about lotus. I started dreaming about lotus, so many lotus, different colors and shades. And I also see a lot of colors in the mornings, especially after the morning Surya Namaskaram, the morning Surya. So I started seeing colors, which I did not realize that I'm actually seeing an aura. Uh, so it was going on, and so during this journey to these places and all that, my journey to India, my journey to India, meaning the first place I stepped my foot was in Ramana Maharishi's ashram. I had a lot of experience there, which I don't think so I'll be able to cover it today. Okay, my experience in Ramana Maharishi's ashram, in Ram Surat Kumar's ashram, I personally saw him that day. He was not so well. See, that journey actually uh, gave me an experience where there's something else, another dimension where it is connected to you. The universe is connected with you. So with that, I started my uh, started meditating actually. See, prayer is something else, but going within yourself is another portion where many people do not do this. See, it doesn't mean meditation, you have to find a place and have to get rid of everything and sit down and meditate, you see. So this part of this part of life where when I start meditating, there are a lot of evolvement within me, a lot of knowledge that that I came across, a lot of incidents that took place without me making so much of effort. So with that, I went to Mother Meera in Pondicherry. She was my greatest inspiration. Um, I was there for about, there was one time during the journey, I was there alone. I was there in the ashram for about almost 3 weeks, and I took up Tanjore painting in Pondicherry with one of the masters there. So during my days in that ashram, I had lots of experience with mother. I mean, of course, mother is not there, but in a different dimension, I had a lot of experience with mother. And I know mother is also an artist. And that made me more happy. Oh, mother is an artist. So like that, I had a lot of experience, and that provoked me actually to go more into painting because she's also an artist. So I would say mother is the cost of me painting now. One of one of the reason why I took up painting very seriously was because of mother, Meera.
That's very interesting. I always think nature, spirituality, meditation, art all falls on one line, and that happened for you very much. It's very interesting to
Yes,
hear that.
yes.
And I would like to know how art transformed you as a person. Like you said, you had your intra communication with yourself, right? Like where you had been looking into your own thoughts rather than what's happening around you. So, how did art shape up you as a person?
Okay. Mm, see, when I started painting, I did not have any intention of what my artwork should look like. Okay. Now, there are many artists and many friends who do some artworks and all that. What they do is that they have a sketchbook where they will sketch out first, and then they will actually plan out their work before putting it on the canvas. And I do not do that. Usually, I'll just go on to the canvas straight away. Even some of my very close friends, they tell me, Vasanthi, you should sketch it first and then only go into your canvas. But I somehow don't do that. I straight away go into my canvas. And of course, I would say um, the hidden forces. I also have a painting on hidden forces. There are so many hidden forces that we cannot see with our naked eye, but we can feel. We can feel the energy outside us. I would say the universe. I will always relate it to the universe because there is a dimension outside us, there is a dimension in us, there is an intelligence in us, which sometimes we do not realize. So only when you go within yourself, you will realize that there is an intelligence within you will tell you what to do. So I just follow my instinct and I do an artwork. The colors that I put it on the canvases are basically the colors that I feel sometimes, and also the colors are the colors which I see around the sun in the morning and around some of the things, whatever things that I see, you see. See, in the mornings, excuse me, in the morning sometimes, even these little birds, butterflies, or even plants, when in the morning when I water the plants, I can see their auras. So I get some of the colors and then I try to see whether I can put it on the canvas. You see, so that is how I do my paintings. And you were asking me how I what do you call? Come again with the question. Sorry. How I relate
Uh,
to my how I relate
yeah.
to my
How it shaped up your personality,
yeah.
or
Yeah, my personality, I would say that I'm sometimes I have a lot of fear. Have a lot of fear before. So fear, and sometimes I don't. I sort of like get agitated sometimes with my family members, upset and all that. So I find that the one thing that actually toned me down is my artwork. It's a therapy for me. See, for almost how many years I've been painting, I feel it has been a therapy for me because I'm able to be very calm. Because I think only the best person who can say about that is my husband or my children, because they are the only person that you show your whatever tempo, your emotions, your true emotions, you see. But I know along the way that I've been very, very composed is because of uh, my work, artworks that I do. Yeah. So that
that's
way, I think I should thank God, and that
that's
I
really very
have, because every time when you are, you see, I'm sure everyone have gone through moments where they are uh, depressed on something, or they're stressed out, or they are not happy, or they need some answers and all that. Everyone have gone through that, and likewise, I have gone through that too. But after becoming a painter, I think I've healed myself in so many ways. So many ways I've healed myself, and I'm happy to do that. And my paintings are not planned work, but it comes along. That means as I'm doing my painting, I have things coming along, and and based on my experience, I have installed some symbols to show that the message, to send the message across to the people who wants to see my artwork.
That's nice. So art has been a therapeutic
Yes, definitely.
healing process for you, I think.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
And yes, the colors also, when you speak about the colors, even I also would like to mention that your colors are really fresh, and it's uh, taken from the nature, like as you said. One thing I noticed is your art has started with figurative, and then I see that it's moving towards abstract forms. So, do you have any particular reason for the change, or do you still paint figurative paintings as well?
I do paint figurative paintings. Why? Because I want to relate whatever that's happening outside, or whatever that's happening within you. I would like to relate that with a figure, So
Okay.
when I relate it with the figure, I feel I am sending the message across more clearly, because I'm a very considered a very direct person, but I don't like to be indirect, but I like to be direct. But because it is art, and if you want to love your artwork, and if you want to show a lot of you want to show and give a lot of messages, you have to have the figure uh, uh, with the painting. Sometimes when you have abstract painting, and if, let's say, there is no proper, I mean, if it's fully abstract, some people find it very difficult to know what it is actually. So I do not want to do that. I would at least give them a glimpse of, what it is all about. So, and the rest they'll have to figure it out. You see.
Okay. So, as you said, more than the outcome, you said the process of the painting, okay,
Yeah.
that is what you focus, and that is the creative process that you go through. So, would you like to share a few more inputs about it?
Okay. You see, in no matter any situations. uh, whatever situations that you are in, or whatever job that you are doing, um, the outcome is something. The outcome is something that will happen only depending on you. That means if, let's say, I want to go to a place from Chennai, let's say I want to go to Coimbatore, okay, the process, okay, the journey from Chennai to Coimbatore for each person is different, okay, but the destination may be the same, but the journey will be different. So what I'm trying to put in my artwork is I cannot show any solid um, conclusion there, because uh, I wouldn't know what is going to be like after that. Okay. So for me, my journey is when I put a stroke, put a line there, or a color there, or a picture there, it is what I feel at that moment. At that moment, this is what I feel, you see. See, nothing is certain. So see, what is going to be later on, nobody will know. But what is happening today, right now in me, that is what I can put it on my paintings, you see. So, but I know what I want, and I know what I feel at that moment, and that is what I'm putting it on the painting.
That's nice. So, you have said that you have attained self-realization through your paintings. And can you share your experiences about uh, reaching that level of realization? And would you like to uh, give any advice to the future generation? Like
Okay,
now, I see
I
most of the kids, they actually spend more time on the virtual reality or digital media or the social media. So, what is your advice to them and about this tangible art form? So, what is that you would like to tell them?
Okay, I wouldn't say that I have reached self-realization, but to a certain extent, I have realized God. So I would say that um, see, for many people, they have got an idea of what God is all about. Okay, and some of them they say there is no God. Some they say there is God in the form of so and so and all that. Okay, for me, I was actually thinking of so many things. It could be God, it could be this, it could be that. But for me, I feel that if you want to realize God, the first thing that should happen to you is you should be a good human being. See, being a good human being itself, when you are good itself, is a great thing that you can do to yourself and to others. So I have realized that. And when you go within yourself, every subject that you do, everything that you do it with your conscious, do it sincerely, and when you have that quality in you, I feel that there are many channels will be open to you. It will not be as difficult as when you don't realize, when you do things very technically, you see. So this is something that I have experienced, because there are many times that I need something, or I need to know something, and what happens is that just like that, I will just come to know about things. So I realize that when I go within myself and just talk to nature, and be happy with nature, I'm very contented with whatever that I have now in my life, because those were the days where I used to worry and all that, but I don't worry like what I used to before. I just always tell myself that I just want to be a good human being. That's all. I don't want to have so much of thoughts whether God is looking at me, or God is talking to me, or am I really in touch with the universe. I am really in touch with the universe, because I see a lot of things happening in my life without much effort. So for the younger generation, what I would say is that I know they are very much with the digital world and all that. But what they can do is that um, they have to do things very sincerely, not peer pressure. And paintings is one subject which I think will heal many people. That is definitely a good thing for everyone to do. I think everyone, as you said, everyone is an artist themselves, but they may not be exploring on it. But I have done a lot of art therapy, even to some of the ladies who are at my shelter home, and I have done some therapies for them, and it has helped them. I think everyone should explore on art when they are free. Um, in that way, I think they will be able to express everything on the canvas board at least. If they can't express to others, they will be able to express on the canvas board, and that way they are actually bringing out their fear and depression and whatever sort. Yeah.
Okay, so that's nice. So the goal of life is God realization, and I think you have realized it through art. And thank you for your advice, Vasanthi.
Thank you.
I'm very sure that painting is always art is always a healing process, and it definitely uh, it it is much needed for this generation, I think, where people are really
Yes.
stressed out, and so it's, I
Yes.
think, yes. So not only for the youngsters and even for the working people, and I think even the household women, they also, I think, in some way or the other, I think they involve in some form of art. I think
Yeah,
that's why
something
we
they are
had those
passionate about.
days. Yes,
Something they're passionate about. Even not necessary. It should be artwork. They can do some art craft
the
work, or they should be doing
yeah,
some gardening.
yeah. That's
Anything
why
that
we
is.
had columns,
Oh
drawing
yes, yes,
columns,
yes, yes. I love column.
yeah, in our culture. And then, yeah, like every day morning they get
Yes,
up
yes.
and meticulously they
Refresh your
he
mind. In
yes,
the morning itself. When you start putting a column, and then you start putting a color there. That
yeah,
itself is a healing process in the morning itself.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's been a pleasure talking to you. I also would like to ask you if you would like to talk any one particular painting that you would like to show up, and would you like to talk about it?
Oh, okay. Then I would suggest that my one painting. Of course, the first painting is Energy Trance. That's the morning. It's a morning Surya Namaskaram actually. That is very simply. When I say Surya Namaskaram, the morning prayers itself is simply saying that get as much energy as you can from the sun. You see, that is one thing. Then I have the Awakening Vision one. The Awakening Vision one, I would relate very much to the
Can
uh,
we have your catalog displayed on the screen?
catalog one. Okay,
Uh,
this
yes. Okay.
this one.
Oh, okay, fine.
I like most of my paintings too that I like to talk about, but this one painting I would say, I have the sun outside and the sun inside. You can say it's the moon outside and the moon inside within you. So I have learned that the moon actually affects your brain and the sun actually affects your heart. So see, whatever energy that we are trying to absorb from the nature, you should bring it to your within you see. And that is why I've drawn the it's like a moon or the sun. Okay, the sun can be in any color or the moon can be any color. This is how I see it also. So that is why I have the moon at the heart center. Okay, and I have three birds there. One bird is flying, which is you have your freedom. Okay, you're feeling very light about yourself. And there's one bird there which is sleeping, which is not exactly sleeping, it is just being in balance. And I have one bird near to your ear. Okay, then that bird is actually, I would say, it's your instinct, or the intelligence within you, it's giving you a message of whatever that you are thinking of. Okay, because we are always questioning about so many things, and sometimes we do not know where to get the answers. And you have the instinct within you to give you an answer, and sometimes you don't bother about it, and then you will go and do something else. But this is what I'm trying to say: listen to your instinct, or listen to your intelligence within you, and that is the bird which is near to your ear. Because I think when you go within yourself and when you start interacting, get the energy from the universe, your intelligence will start growing, and that intelligence is what instincts is all about. I mean, this is how I feel. Okay, and I have a lotus there. Lotus is always known as a spiritual symbol. So I have a lotus there, and I also have a fish as a symbol, almost near to the stomach area. So this is what I'm trying to say with this is, you see, one of the most important organs, or not, sorry, not organ, one of the most important part of the body is the stomach. I think one should really, really, really take care of the stomach. I think most of their problems will be solved. So that is where I have the fish over there to signify prosperity. So the stomach is the most important area, I think, in our body, and then after that is the rest of it will be okay. Of course, the heart center, and why I gave the peacock. Actually, the peacock is there. Can you see the peacock?
Yeah.
You can see the peacock.
Yes. Yes.
See, I'm very much
On the left side.
yeah, I'm very much attracted to the peacock all the time. I love peacock, and I have peacock in most of my painting. So I represent the peacock as my angel, as my instinct, as my intelligence, and that is why I have my peacock coming around me and my forehead. It's like giving me the intelligence. So I have the peacock there, and then my hair is actually just flowing down. That shows the flexibility within ourselves. We all should be very flexible. I think that's very, very important in life, so that we'll be able to adjust, able to receive criticism or whatever. I think that is why I have used the lines and the curves there. Um, so that is one thing I would like to. This is one painting which I like to talk about. Is it okay?
Yes. Yes.
Let's go
That's
ahead.
very beautiful.
So I would say that the sun outside, we admire the sun outside, we admire the moon outside. Let's admire ourselves and bring those energy and bring those beauty within us. I think when we start doing that, the rest, whatever that's going to happen in our life, it definitely will be beautiful, and we'll have a reason why it has to happen or not happen. Okay, sometimes we do ask ourselves why this thing has to happen to us, and we start pondering, we start having some kind of agitation and all that. But when you go within yourself and understand certain things, let things happen as it is. You will have that kind of state, balanced mind to receive anything that happens in our life, and then after a period of time, you will know that why it has happened. You see, so this is what I have realized.
That's that's so beautiful. It's a wonderful explanation and it's a wonderful painting. I can see life and rhythm flowing out of your artwork, and it's filled with positive vibration. And I can see the same vibration from you as well.
Thank
Uh, it's such an inspiring session with you, Miss Vasanthi.
I also would like to talk about one more painting. Can
Yes,
I?
please. Yes.
Okay. Now this painting is actually the mother and the child. Okay. Why I specifically like to talk about this is because I have yeah, this particular painting.
Yes. Okay.
Okay. So why I like to talk about this painting is because, and why I'm so touched with this painting and selected was, I see a lot of ladies in my center. when they are abused and they have problems and they come to us. Okay, so I want to tell them that women are the best thing that can happen. Okay, they are the most beautiful people. They are the most powerful people. Actually, women are very, very powerful, and they are so gifted to have the gift of bearing a child. So do not neglect the child, because when the child is born, you have fed them. You have fed them, and you have nurtured them. You have actually taken care of the child. uh, you know the feeling that when you have a child should not or should never go away in no matter what situation, because there are many women that I see when they have problems. Domestic violence is something which I have been seeing when I started being the chairperson of the shelter home. And what happens is that because of that, they have neglected their children. So and there is also a small bird there. So actually, this particular person is feeding the child. At the same time, she has an angel which is giving her a lot of messages. She's actually talking to both of them, interacting with both of them actually. So, and this is very special, very a powerful thing which can happen to a lady with a woman, you see. So I want to convey the message to women basically, to tell them that how lucky and how powerful they are, and why God has created them as women, because they are the only one who can nurture a child the way it should be. And there are many, see, we are all multitasking people, you see. We can do multitasking. Of course, men are equally important too. I'm not sidelining the men, but women are very, very special. I just want to say women are very special.
Yeah,
Thank
true.
you.
Thank you, ma'am, and thank you that you have taken time and you have shared your experiences about your painting and about your spiritual journey with this. I hope this would be a good opening for in Tamil Vannangal, and we will have more and more artists in the upcoming sessions. Thank you.
Okay, I wish to thank Stephen Menon for his curation and opportunity, and able to exhibit my painting in Art Voice. And once again, thank you to Entamizh Vannangal for this talk show. It was a great pleasure talking to you, Meenakshi, and hope we can meet it again.
Sure, sure. Welcome, ma'am.